Good morning, everybody. Thought I'd get up and do me a quick video this morning. I hadn't done one in a few days, I guess. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had Thanksgiving blessings. That's important. We as we come into the holidays, it's real important to remember what it's all about. You know, blessings, preferably being a blessing, and hopefully when you've been a blessing, you receive blessings. I had a mixed Thanksgiving. Many blessings. Saw aunts and uncles and some cousins I hadn't seen in a while. Very good to see them. Uh, my sweet little cousin Jody. They showed up, her and her husband, and so thankful, Jody. If you watch this, I showed her my channel and some of my stuff. Everybody liked my clips, photos, and she was such a blessing. She come in and just took charge and did some real good cooking, and we're thankful for her. I saw my cousin, her brother Jerry. I hadn't seen him in probably 10 years. Last I'd seen of him, he was getting like his fifth DWI and not doing well in life. But he turned that all around. He's doing well now. He's working in the church. As a matter of fact, when they come up on Thursday, they had to leave for a while. They went to the church and helped. They all got together and helped decorate the church and help a friend pack and move. So another blessing. We had a really good time. I amazed and dazzled my uncle or watching the Cowboy game. I pretty much, after the first quarter was over, a couple minutes into the second quarter, it's the Dallas Cowboy game. And he's like, man, this game's over. Cowboys are going to be done. I said, no, they're not. No, they're not. I said, before halftime, there's going to be a big play, and Dallas is going to really tie it up, or they'll only be down like 3. It's going to be a big deal. So in the second half, they'll get the ball first, and they'll go down and score. I said, they'll take the lead. I said, and then they'll lose it. And then they'll get within, 3 again, something like that, right? And I say, tell him there's going to be some weird penalties. There's going to be some, strange calls you've never heard before. And I said, in the end, at the end of the game, it's going to be like 33-30. I said, heck, it may even be tied and going overtime. I said, when it comes overtime, more than likely Dallas will lose if it goes that way. But I still got a feeling the script that they're doing is a win for Dallas. And man, if it didn't happen, 1-0 after the other, we're sitting there, and as this is going, I'm prognosticating this for them, and I told them big plays coming, and Cowboys run back a kickoff. They hadn't run back a kickoff in forever, and then the next thing I'm telling them about penalties, weird penalties, and the Cowboys got blocking in the back on the kickoff team. you're trying to tackle somebody and they called you for blocking in the back on another guy. I'd never heard that. Honestly, I hadn't. Hey, Fract, what's up? And then what was the other penalty? Illegal formation on the defense. My dad and uncle were losing their minds. And I'm like, I told you guys, told you. And coming towards the end of the game, they're like, oh, this is over. I said, no, it's not. I said, Cowboys, they're going to tie it up or go into overtime. Trust me. And man, if that Cowboys didn't get the ball, 2 plays, bam, bam, touchdown. Now they're tied up. And so, yeah, and the game ended 33-33. And then they went into overtime and Dallas lost. But it was crazy. That was fun doing that with my uncle. He was like, man, every time something happens, man, hey. It was fun. So lots of blessings. My dad's having some early onset dementia. He's, I'm afraid this probably is last maybe coherent Thanksgiving. So it's a blessing having him, still doing well. My mom, she's doing well. With Kathy and Alex, we drove the RV, drove the new motorhome. It was nice. It's very comfortable. I'm glad we got that thing, because I didn't know it till we got there. But good thing we took the RV because there was no place to sleep. My parents' house. Hey, Lee. How's it going, guys? So lots of blessings on Thanksgiving. But I'm sure not everybody had blessings. And that's disappointing to me. I want everybody to, have a good Thanksgiving. I'm up so early this morning because I couldn't sleep. Just couldn't sleep. Tossing and turning. We had a little incident while I was gone. If you notice, this morning there's no barking. My buddy in Nashville, he passed away. So not everything was great, but hey, life goes on. Got Baxter here. They were good buddies. We got them at the same time. They were about the same age. Got them at the same time. And it's tough. He's a good dog, man. My Blue Heeler was a good dog. It was funny, he didn't like Alan. And I guess, I don't know what you call it. Karma, I don't know. He died with Alan trying to give him care. The last guy he wanted to give him care ended up doing it. So I was glad Alan was here. I was glad he was here. We're gonna miss the dog. And that's tough. Poor Baxter. When we got home, he was on the trip with us. He was looking for his buddy. But what do you do? Life goes on. It's God tests our faith and our patience, and in a lot of ways. Lots of ways. You never know how he's gonna give you that opportunity to prove that you learned, and you have the wisdom, and you have patience, and you have faith. They're hard ones sometimes, man. They're hard ones. Just tough. And overall, it was a good trip. That was actually, Kathy made a good point. That was our first really maiden voyage in the new RV, because when we bought it, we brought it straight to Beaumont and set it up, and she lived in it for the next 6 months working. And then the next time it got driven, it got taken from that RV here to the house. And so that was basically its maiden voyage. And it performed well. It performed well. We're blessed to have it. You know, that's a long haul, 500 miles. It's kind of funny. We live down here in Orange, and it's 500 miles to Big Spring, and it's 500 miles to Madison and Lulu in Arkansas. It's kind of weird when you map it. It's 500 and 500, kind of weird. But those are, those are interesting little things. Yeah, Lee, that's true. They come and they go. It's we've got the 9 dogs, but Nashville he was only one he was mine. I took him. I went and got him. He's mine. I met his owner. It was really cool. I met his owner at the chiropractor, and crazy way we got into talking about dogs is a young pregnant girl sitting there, and we started talking about how well she looked and how far along she was, and very interesting young lady. She was doing that. She's going to do natural birth at home. Really good conversation, and dogs came into it. And she says, "Well, I just had a litter of purebred blue Heeler puppies." And I said, "Man, that was the last thing I needed to hear." "Oh no." I said, "Do you have any pictures?" And she says, "Yes." And so she starts showing me pictures. And there's Nashville. He's the boy. And he's got 2 sisters left that are available. There was 8 in the litter, but it's him and 2 sisters left. And I picked on Nashville. And when he was ready, weaned and all, went and picked him up. The rest is history. He's a good dog. Rainbow Bridge in the Sky, Nashville. Go see Petey, and we've had a few dogs over the years. You can go see Petey and Rosie and Precious and Lulu. As a kid, my first little dog was Lulu, and now my nickname for my granddaughter's Lulu, huh? Right? Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Thanks, Fractal. Yeah, man. Me and my dogs. I love my dogs. I love, their companionship. Their learning, their love. you know, I don't remember who the comedian was, but he made a good point about that. Man, you go to work, boss hating on you. Traffic, other drivers hating on you, flipping you off, man. You go to the drive-in, get some food. They're rude to you, hating on you. So you get home, man, that dog sees he loves you every time. Every time. Never a doubt. He's there every time. It was kind of weird how Nashville he never took to Alan. He just didn't. There was something, I don't know, it's weird. He bit Alan first time he met him. It was crazy. We were walking into the yard, back to the pool house out in Merkel, and Nashville was running around. He circles around, grabs Alan, nips him on the back of the leg. That's the first time he'd ever done that, and the only time he'd ever done that to anybody. Yeah, it was weird. Him and Alan did not get along from the jump. Never understood that. Kind of weird. But blessings. I've got them. I'm not gonna cry. I've been multiply blessed this last week. Had one not great episode happen, but the blessings far outweigh the disappointments. I been laying there all night, couldn't sleep, just tossing, turning, thinking about Nashville and thinking about, everything, everything. Before I went to bed last night, watching a couple of interesting movies. The last one I watched was called AI 187. Pretty interesting. There was a bunch of Q stuff in it. Alan came in while I was watching a little bit, and it was made in 2014, and there was a bunch of Q stuff, and like the number itself, 187. I remember reading some Q posts. Well, that's a code for 17, and the 8 is the infinity sign. So it's Q infinity. My first dog was called Trixie, and she died when she was 20 years old. Wow. That's cool. That's cool, Lee. Long time to have a dog. Our oldest dog, we have Tinkerbell, and she's 15. She's 15 right now. I went to see my dad. Her first boyfriend, Elvis, my dad's poodle, is he's about to turn 15. Tinker's going to turn 16 next month, and they were glad to see each other. They hadn't seen each other in a while. That was pretty fun watching those two doing the sniff circle. Hey, man, I recognize you. Where you been? Where you been, girlfriend? Ain't seen you in forever. It was pretty funny. You know how dogs are. But yeah, the blessings. But those movies, pretty cool. Lots of Q stuff in that one. Kid has a hat, baseball hat with a Q on it. He makes a statement. Yeah, it's like the calm before the storm, huh? And just bunches of Q stuff. And I don't know why I picked it, but it was just weird. It turned out to be a big time Q movie. That's crazy. And in 2014, think about that. What's going on? I thought it was like October of 2017 that they claimed Q first appeared, and then the madness ensued. But we, thinking over, the holiday about that, I was so glad that my cousin had got his life together. I was so glad his sister Jody, had turned in such a good woman, good mother, good wife, good woman. She had a little rough with my aunt and uncle there early in life. She came and lived with us. She lived with us for 4 or 5 years. I graduated high school and moved on, and she was still living with my parents, and she graduated high school there in Big Spring. And she learned to cook. She learned to be a good human being. I'm in a state living with us in her teen years. She did a good job. Jody, if you ever watch this, which I doubt you guys will, but I'm proud of you. You did a great job. You and Jerry both. Y'all overcame a lot. Yeah. I got some aunts and uncles that ain't, all the way best upstanding citizens, we could say. But it's a good explanation. A dog star, serious. Right, Lee? I mean, for whatever reason, he felt like Alan needed a good little nip, and he gave it to him. And I mean, like I said, that was just so out of the blue. He never did it again. Never did it again. He'd bark at people and pitch pitched a little fit there, barking like a madman, but he never trying to bite people. We got home yesterday. I unfortunately today it doesn't get any better. I've got to take Kimmy and Key, and gonna have them put down. Gotta have them put down. They killed Nashville. They almost killed Seven. They almost killed Tinkerbell. And each time I was gonna put them out myself, and Kathy wouldn't let me. She talked me out. She said, "No, we've got to find them a home or do something." And then after this last incident, she said, "Yes, need to go have them put down. They can't be trusted. They're killers. They're killers." And it was weird. I got them as puppies, sisters, and they never ever even looked cross-eyed at a human, ever. And they lived their most loving pups, and they lived in peace and harmony with 4 other little dogs. No problems. Never had a problem. They were all friends. And then we got my little girl 7 out there. Like I said, we had 6 dogs. 2 of them were Kimmy and Key. Always got along. And we got 7. And we didn't have her about a month. And we're all out in the back in the pasture walking, doing our walk. And everybody's running. And 7 gets rolled and breaks a leg. Man, it was 90 degrees. Poor puppy. We took her and got her leg fixed. And it wasn't, when she got back on her own 4 legs and nursed that leg back, and got her going okay. And man, oh my God, out of the blue, sitting there in the sunshine, enjoying everything, all of a sudden they just jumped on her and started ripping her apart. And man, I couldn't hardly get there in time to get her out of their jaws. And they tore her up pretty good. And took her to the vet and got her cleaned up and stitched up, and she did well. And then I had a guy working at my house and told him, "Do not leave these gates unbolted," because he'd latch them and put a bolt to it, because Kimmy and Key knew how to open gates. And he says, "Okay, all right." not even thinking, man. He opens the gate to the backyard, and all the little dogs are out there doing their business. He opens it, and they just fly right by him and go right for her and just start ripping her up again. And I get her away from him again, and nurse her back to history, back to life. And she's pretty torn up, but I didn't take her to the vet that time. By this time, I'm pretty good at taking care of dogs, and I fix her up. And she does well. And then a year or 2 goes by, and everything's peaceful, and they killed my little girl Hershey. Yeah, they killed Hershey. That was terrible. And at that point, we weren't sure if they'd killed her or what, because we couldn't find her. We finally found her under the pool house, just traumatized, just tore all to pieces. And so Kimmy and Key got to go. They got to go. Can't stay. Alan, they've been living with Alan and Kimmy and Key and Ruger, and Ruger, big old boy. They try to mess with him, but they don't take their crap. And so now Ruger, he's gonna be single again, getting rid of his 2 girls. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. It ain't easy. We love our dogs. They certainly are. My dogs are a comfort to me. This little guy right here, he's my therapy dog right here, man. This one good mutt. And they almost got him one day out here. He freaking pushed that back door open, and I was in the other room, and I heard that noise, that most awful noise. And I came running in here, and they had him cornered in that kennel over there. We got a big old full-size kennel over there, and they had him cornered in there and just going at him. And I got him out of there and got him. They got one little bite on his hip. He had a little tear, or they got a tooth in him. Man, I'm sorry. Yeah, our girl, Precious, had cancer, and we kept her till her last days, and she started suffering. She was hurting. She wasn't doing, it was terrible. So we took her to the vet, and he came out to the car and put her down slowly, and we spent our last moments with her, and she went peacefully. Took her home, buried her by her best friend, Rosie, who had died a month before. We'd had them close to 10 years. They were good dogs, and they died within a couple of weeks, a month of each other. So it was almost like a "I can't live without you" deal. They both were old. They lived good, long lives, man. Those are good dogs. And I've been through a few dogs in my life. I wouldn't trade any of them for nothing, except Kimmy and Key. Now, I wish I'd never got them. Now, kind of joy they brought early was sure destroyed and turned into regret later on down the road. They're 6 years old now, and they've hurt me. They hurt me bad. But we, that's when we have faith, man. That's what our faith is all about. We gotta understand things happen, and we grow from them. We grow from them. It would have been, and the crazy thing is, before we were gonna leave last Tuesday, me and Kathy had the back and forth. I wanted to take Nashville because him and Alan didn't really get along. I thought it'd just be easier on Alan watching the dogs if I took Nashville. Let's take Nashville because he gets along with these little ones we're taking, and let's just do that. Well, when we're going to load, Nashville's never been in the RV, so he's real leery, and trying to get him settled down and calm down so we can get him in and go for the ride. And Kathy says, no, let's not take him. Just leave him. Just leave him. It'll be fine. No, we'll leave him. Okay. Wanted to take him, but okay. We'll leave him. No problem. And the rest is, as they say, history. That's the way it goes. It is good seeing all my family. So didn't see my brother and my nephews. They were down in Rockport, Texas. They go deep sea fishing every Thanksgiving. My brother and his boys. So didn't get to see him, but that's all right. I grew up with him. I'll see him again. But saw my good friend James. He's doing good. This is a crazy story. About 2 months ago, he calls me up. He's like, man, I finally did it. Took me 55 years, but I did it. And I'm like, what? Tell me. He goes, I got arrested. I was like, no, dude. Did they get you for weed, man? That was my first thought. Did they get you for weed? He's like, no, man. This is assault with a deadly weapon. I said, no. I knew he was a concealed carrier. I said, no, dude. You didn't pull your gun on somebody, man, and shoot him or something, did you? And he's like, no, no, no. I didn't even have my gun with me. And he tells me the story, and an ex-employee, big black dude, comes up. He's working at one of the properties and starts talking trash to him about, you owe me money. You shouldn't have fired me, yada, yada. And he's a big dude. And he's like, look, man, just back off, go on your way. We're done. We had a business relationship and it's over now. And the dude won't. And so he said he grabbed an axe handle out of the back of his truck. He's standing right there by his tailgate. And I was laying there. He grabbed his axe handle. And he said, dude, you better go on. Don't mess with me. And the guy saw that and he bowed up and he's like, you going to hit me? And he went after James. James said he didn't beat the crap out of him, but he hit him 3 or 4 times. And finally the guy just turned and ran, and neighbors, people around, they called the cops. And he got arrested and taken in. And he said it was funny. As soon as the cop shows up, he's like, look, first thing he said is, I'm a concealed carry. He hands him his card, and the guy's not even interested, and tells him, what happened. The guy arrests him, and it was funny. And the newspaper man, and they put him first one, because they usually do them in alphabetical order. And for the first time ever in history, he had the deal cut out, and he had it in a plastic baggie, sealed, and he had it sitting up. He had it pinned up there by his dartboard, so everybody that comes can see James's arrest record. So that was kind of funny, and I picked up some good medicine from him. But we, overall, we have blessings. Seeing that baby, oh my gosh, she is such a good baby. Wow, we couldn't believe it, man. That baby was there for 3 days, and nobody heard that baby cry once, not once. When she gets ready to eat, she starts a little bit of a and Madison is such a good mother. She knows right away. And if somebody else, my dad had her the first time, she just started, a little bit of Maddie says, looks at the clock. She's hungry. Time to feed her. Picks her up, feeds her. Baby goes right to sleep. Sleep 2 or 3 hours. Man, wakes up just grinning and happy the whole time. Just a blessing. That sweet, sweet baby. What a blessing. We took her out to eat, and she just, man, what a good baby. We passed her around that table 2 or 3 times. Everybody holding her, and everybody that held her, she performed. She smiled and giggled at them, and it was great. It was great. We got good pictures of 3 generations. 3 generations. Son, granddaughter, and great-granddaughter. My parents, they were pleased. And my poor old dad, with his dementia, he really is getting more and more emotional all the time. He cried at the drop of a hat this weekend. He was feeling his blessings with all his family around him, and come there to take care of him. And my mom came there to cook for him and clean and take care of them, and they were blessed. Because the next Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure my dad's mental state is not going to be close to the same. I hope it is. I don't think it's going to be. He got in 2 or 3 arguments with me. He's he's competed with me my whole life, and I never understood it. I'm the black sheep of the family. I can't say nothing without him taking it and misconstruing it. He's hard to deal with, man. He's hard to deal with. He's when it comes to me, especially. And Dalmatian boxer. All the way to almost 30 years. Wow, practical. Dang. Got me get through. Yeah, man. I don't care who you are, man. If you've ever had a good dog, you know that special bond. This little guy right here, I take him to Home Depot with me. Don't put him on a leash. He doesn't need a leash. He's a good dog. He stays right there with me. Last time we went in, we come bouncing in like we own the place. And Eddie says, "Oh, sir, he has to be on a leash." I said, "He will be in just a minute." And we cut down an aisle, and I'm like, "Let's go, Baxter. They're on to us, buddy." And he's so cool. He stays right with me, man. And we go up to check out, and he's sitting there, and the lady says, "Oh, what a cute dog." I said, "Yeah, he's a cute dog." I said, "And he's pretty handy." And I look at him, I go, "Did we get everything on the list, Baxter?" And he's just sitting there looking up at me. And he gets up and does a little circle, and I was like, "Okay." And then I look at him, and I go, "No, you can't drive." And he's just laughing because he's one of those dogs that, he's reacting. He reacts to me pretty good. And that was funny. And one time I took him in the store, and they're like, a dog can't be in here. And I said, "He's my CNI dog, thank you." And we don't even have a leash. Just okay. It took that lady a minute to figure that one out. I would say, but I don't know about the 1,000-year thing. I say that 70 AD, the father of Jesus did Jerusalem, and the dead were raised up, and they left. That's it. Well, Lee, yeah, sounds good. What was I watching yesterday? Oh, I guess Static put out a new one, and I think he's trying to poke at John Levy. But there was one little deal in there that he was showing a chart of these historical timelines, and he was trying to show, like I believe it was in Denmark, that they had chronicled multiple floods in their history. But one that was really, really important was one that was in, what was it, in 536. And man, when I saw that, my first thought was, bam, dude, did Christ come back in 36 and not 70? I mean, that's in there. And because in their chronology, there's a massive destruction. They chronicle it as a flood, but was it a mud flow from the fervent heat? Because we know mud flood and a lot of this stuff looks like there was a flood. And so I saw that. I'd never seen that chart before. It's pretty interesting. But one thing that got me from another video I saw was I think it was Conspiracies R Us. I can't remember. I'll have to look back. But there's a charred layer of ground just about at every one of those excavations of the mudflood buildings. And it's like very, very fertile soil full of organic material and lots of artifacts, like chips of pots and different things. And it is a carbonized, a burnt type of layer, that from what they were saying in this video, and that it's everywhere. And pretty interesting. I'd never heard that. I thought I'd seen just about everything so far about mud flood and things like that, but that was good. That was good research finding that. And there was lots of depictions from expeditions over the over the recorded time that we have, speaking to this black layer, of organic, very, very fertile soil. And I thought that was wow. Man, that's pretty cool, because that pretty much tells you, man, there was a fervent heat event. Yeah, that whole thing about, did God rule physically on earth, or was it his whole realm? He rules the realm, is a is a sticky debate with some people. And me and my buddy James, we were talking about this, and I'm 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 chipping away at him. And one of the things that hit me, guys, think about this. This just came to me the other day. Let me know what you think. We all, I think most of us will agree that a lot of these structures, especially the great cathedrals, things like that, there's a good chance that they were built during the millennial reign. And a thought hit me that we've talked about how these castles and all these things, no running water, no toilets, nothing, right? Nothing like that. Well, it came to me that if you're living during this millennial reign of Christ, I would think that everything would have been just about perfect for life. And I mean that by your food would be pretty close to perfect. Your physical, mental being, all of it would be pretty close to perfect, as close as to perfect for you and what God meant for us at any other point in history and time. And that, it makes sense to me now that I look at it this way, that they didn't need toilets, because every morsel they put in their body used perfectly. And they didn't really have any waste. Does that make sense? When that hit me, I thought, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. That, okay, that was one of the debates. Why didn't these huge castles and like the Palace of Versailles and all of them, no toilets? Well, I don't know. That's a possibility. That, because in my mind, living during that millennial reign of Christ would be as close to perfection in a lifetime, that you could ever get close to as a human on earth. Other than Adam and Eve in the garden, I can't imagine a more perfect time. And let me know what y'all think about that. Because I'm thinking the food that was growing or grown by saints and the righteous would be as close to perfect as could be. We know there's no lies in nature, and nature is perfect. Okay, so if you have your perfect food and now you're living, the Word with God's presence, I just think that. Let me know what y'all think. That was something just kind of jumped in my head while I'm talking to my buddy James about it. She used to go and eat fresh weed leaves 2 or 3 times a day from the garden. I didn't have for arthritis, she loved to get stoned when she got to a level of palliative care, right? That was the deal with Nashville. When Nashville was kind of excited and wouldn't chill out, I'd blow a little smoke in him, and he was good. He was good. He'd chill. He'd get thirsty. That was funny. Man, he'd get thirsty. He'd go hit that water bowl and just lap, 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 just drinking it up. But yeah, there's been some new videos come out lately about the timeline deception, and how some of the archaeologists and some of the historians have finally agreed. Well, it looks like this one king, he kind of added 500 years here. I think he was trying to cover up some of the misdeeds of his father or something like that. But they're getting there. They're starting to kind of start going, okay, all right. And that timeline, man. Well, we don't know what they ate, Lee. I mean, maybe that's what they ate. I don't know. But, just from what I think we've tried to parse out, is there was some remnant, that were there. And the food process, I don't know. But it just made sense to me that no matter what that process was, that food would be completely sustaining. And that their their bodies would perfectly use every bite. And that's just the way I see it, that I would think it would be living in the pure presence, of God, like that. That's just my thought. I mean, I don't know how many people will watch this, but I'm sure there'll be somebody trying to beat me up over that. But that's all right. Me and my God, we got a special thing going here, man. We got a special thing. Well, I'm up here on 47 minutes. Lee, Fractal, I appreciate you guys being here. It's early for me here, 4 in the morning. I know it ain't that much for you. Do what? That is like saying a man lives, then die, and then live again. I don't know where you got that, Lee. I didn't say that. Where you get that? Oh, the remnant deal? I'm just saying that, Alan, in some of his studies, he's we talked about remnant, and how some ran for the hills, the caves, and we've kicked around, were there remnants, were there not? I don't know, but from what we've read, I'm more leaning towards there were some, just like at the end of the millennial reign, there were some that lived there, and then bam, they were there one day, and that last second ticked off, and the devil was loosed. So, and everything changed, right? I mean, just like that. So, we don't know, but that's my speculation. That's where I'm landing right now until I know the truth. My cousin, he's working with a church and stuff, and I laid the premillennialism on him, and my cousin Jody. They were pretty silent. They didn't have much. They didn't have much to say. They were just, their heads were kind of spinning. Yeah, I love you too, Lee, man. I appreciate all you guys, and all everybody around the world or across the plane. Sorry, still hard to stop saying that kind of stuff. But across the plane, across the realm, I know it's getting tough. I hope Ella's doing okay. I'm sure she's in bed sleeping right now, but or worshiping, knowing Ella, she's worshiping if she's awake. And I just pray for everybody across the plain. These governments, Gog and Magog, are enclosing us. Lee, I mean, it's Jesus Christ. He can do what he wants. I'm not gonna say he couldn't do something. You don't know. I don't know. We'll find out one day. That's pretty cool, Fractal. That's funny. My dog Fred gets upset with me, man. If I don't do certain things with him, he'll get upset with me, and he'd just sit there on the couch. He won't even look at me. I can call his name. I can offer him treats. I can do whatever. Fred he won't even look at me. And finally, he'll come over and give me a little nudge, like, all right, you're off the hook. We'll get some loving going. He's the only dog I ever had that visibly, he's mad at you. He won't look at you. He won't even look at you. One of my best stories with him, I was doing contract work in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and he was staying with me there in the RV, and my last day comes and we pack up. I'm like, dude, we got to go. You ready? Let's go home. And he got mad at me. And he sat on the couch right behind my driver's seat the whole way home. I got my camera and turned the camera. I was looking at him, and he just sitting there. So I grabbed a treat. I always have some treats there for him. I grab a treat, and I go like this, and I set it back right in front of him. And Fred don't eat that treat. It's a 3-hour drive home, and Fred never ate that treat. And Fred is the treatingest dog in the world. You say that word, man, and Fred is first one in line. He was mad at me, and I still don't know why. But we are blessed by our pets, we are blessed by them, and we're the ones responsible for them. So if you don't love them, if you're cruel to animals, I think there's a special place in hell for you. If you hurt these little things, they're just here. They're here for companionship and love, and they don't ask for much. Just feed me and water me, and I'll love you. I will love you. But we had many blessings this last week. I'm not going to be a complainer. Had some bad parts, but life goes on. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. 53 minutes in. I'm gonna go back to bed, see if I can get some sleep now. Had a long drive yesterday. Got home, had about a 2-hour nap, and now can't sleep. Mind's fully awake, thinking about everything. But Lee, let's keep believing. Let's keep that thought process going, and that I believe eventually that veil will be lifted. I think that veil will be lifted at some point, and we will start understanding more and more as we get here to the battle of Gog and Magog. I think we're going to start seeing more and more, guys. We already see what's happening in this world. It's funny now for me when I talk to people about proto-millennialism that look around you, and so many of them start thinking, wow, it has been crappy my whole life and just getting worse. So there's that. So pray for everybody, guys. I love you all. Discernment, good vibrations, prayer for our friends, our family, and yes, our enemies. Yes, pray for our enemies. We're supposed to love them too. Thanks, Lee. Thanks, Fractal. Y'all have a good night. Have a blessed day, guys. Take care.